Welcome to A Quiet Cigar, where we get a good cigar, take it to a quiet place, smoke it, and think about things. The cigar today is a special one. It is the CAO Amazon Basin from 2025, the most recent one. It's not easy to find right now, and not super proud to admit that I paid a little bit over MSRP. But that's life, you can't beat yourself up about it. It's a weird feeling cigar, kind of oily and dense, like it's wrapped in the tanned hide of a small jungle lemur, like it was very recently alive. And what is our place? Well, today, as you can see, we are in the Amazon jungle. No, just kidding. This is a stream near my house. And doesn't look it, but there's a hiking trail right next to it and a golf course not too far away. But I like coming here, and it seemed like a good fit for this cigar today. Let's settle in. From the very first taste, it is surprising. You expect something dark, rich going into this, but it is anything but. It's like chewing on a banana leaf. Maybe picking a coffee bean right off the plant and putting it into your mouth. It's got a touch of a meaty tropical fruit like a mango or a papaya. Wow. So far, not like anything I've had before. We're in California, and as you probably know, we have an interesting relationship with water here in California. A lot of drought, a lot of water-induced anxiety. Incidentally, we also don't grow a lot of tobacco here because the tobacco leaf requires a good amount of water. It likes it sticky and humid. Got a hiker passing by here. This cigar really is, by all accounts, grown in the Amazon basin, which is pretty cool. The growers venture pretty deep into the jungle, find a plot that has just the right amount of dappled sunlight coming through. They clear it out, and they grow it in small quantities. The varietal of tobacco is called Braganza. Braganza. I hope I'm saying that right. Braganza is grown nowhere else, which probably explains why this cigar tastes like no other cigar I've had before. We're venturing into the second third of this Amazon basin. And the banana leaves and coffee fruit step into the background, making way for cacao and some chocolate. It's kind of like a banana bread with chocolate chips. When these Braganza leaves are ready to be harvested, they are not hung like a normal tobacco from the rafters, but they're rolled tightly into ropes like anacondas and left to ferment for a couple of years. Only then are they ready to make their journey out of the jungle. They say they load them onto canoes, hand-carved, paddling them out of the Amazon basin. Ultimately, they end up in Nicaragua, perhaps paddled all the way, I'm not sure, but that is where the cigars are manufactured ultimately. This is a cigar that shouldn't really exist. Why would you do this? But then, why am I sitting here when I could be sitting on my back porch? Not everything's about convenience, expediency. We're here to take our time and do things right. And take our time we are. This might be the slowest burning cigar I've ever had. I'm a little bit worried, in fact, that my batteries will last long enough to cover it through the end. But that's really just in the back of my mind because, wow, I'm loving this. In the final third, it starts to taste like something more recognizable, like an actual regular cigar that was grown in a place where cigars are supposed to be grown. Of course, what are we talking about? Leather? Soil? Coffee? Not a Brazilian coffee, but maybe a light roast from Ethiopia. Oh, and there's a nut, too. Not your run-of-the-mill American nut, but a jungle nut, like a cashew. And I gotta say, this familiarity is a good thing. I'm in a trance, and it's telling me it's time to come back to Earth. And perhaps to give my review on this cigar. That's what we're doing here, right? Reviewing it. Somehow I didn't notice until just now, but this cypress tree growing across the river has stalactites on it, which I didn't know trees could do. Maybe it can feel the water and is trying to reach for a drink. Just a week ago, as I'm recording this, were the fires in LA. And now a lot of people are talking about water. Where do we get it? How do we manage it? Who's responsible for it? People who grew this tobacco went to where the water was. In contrast, LA is where the water isn't, if that makes sense. And that's always a harder way to go about it. Okay, I am ready to give my rating. And no exaggeration, this is the best cigar of my life. So, I'm going to give it a score of good. This was a good cigar. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time.